Mark Spector is a senior columnist at sportsnet.ca. He has an article up on the under-23 team, Team North America, and Mark Spector joins us on the Jeff Blair Show. I think this is going to be the most popular team in the tournament, Mark. I really do.
Well, it's funny because, like any new project like this one, Jeff, there's lots of, there's always going to be naysayers. Oh, well, why are we doing it this time of year? And, what's with this format? Why do we have this U23 team? And I'm with you. I get the pleasure to cover this team. I'm covering this team. And I'm going to say this, that, here we are, sort of the topic today is this going to be the team people watch the most? Is this the most exciting team? Well, I'm telling you, the alternative to having Team North America, the U23 team, is to just add another national team. So if it was Team Germany in this thing, or Team Slovakia, or Team Latvia, or Team Switzerland, I don't think we'd be having the conversation about, is this the most looked forward to team in the tournament, right?
No, absolutely.
It's a cool idea, and I think we haven't seen it in play yet, but thus far, I think the U23 Team North America thing's pretty cool, and it's working.
Well, and the thing is, when this tournament started, and look, and I'll lay my cards on the table. I would love to see. I would love to see there be a true World Cup of hockey. I'd love to see it turn into the similar thing that we see with the World Cup of soccer. And quite frankly, if it means that the NHL and the NHL Players Association gets the money instead of the IOC and the IIHF, I'm okay with that as well. I have no problem with that. But, there are going to be some growing pains to this thing. That's pretty clear. I'm just not certain this is going to be one of those growing pains. I really don't. I look at the names in this team. I mean, one thing about them, they're not going to be outskated by any other team in this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. No, they'll be exceptionally quick. The question becomes, when you think of all the great defensemen in hockey, are any of them under 23 years of age, or 23 and under?
No, that's true.
There's some good ones, like Aaron Ekblad's a fabulous player.
Mm-hmm.
But does he make Team Canada?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
So there's some inherent issues there. Obviously, the goaltending. Matt Murray was sure great last spring, but is he going to be that great this fall? I hope so for their sake, but frankly, we don't know the answer to that. Whereas when you're coming in with the Team Canada goaltending, or Jonathan Quick's between your pipes, I think you pretty much know what you have. So sure, there's some inherent question marks there, but that's I'm okay with some question marks. It makes me want to watch a little more.
The first game for Team North America will be against Team Europe on September 8th at the Videotron Center in Quebec City. And Team North America is in a bracket with Russia, Finland, and Sweden, Canada, the USA, Czechs, and Team Europe, and the others. And I mean, I'll tell you, I know that the Bodog and Bovada have put out their odds for this tournament, and once again, everybody's underestimating Finland. But you know what? I look at Russia. Russia's a train wreck. I'll take the under 23 chances against Russia. Sweden's awfully good, and like I said, Finland. Whatever happens, I really think that other than the Canadians, the Finns take these international tournaments more than anybody else. But I can see a way where these guys can get out of that bracket. I really can.
You've got to beat two of Sweden, Finland, and Russia, right? So, it's a tall order. Like it's a tall order. I'm going to say the team I trust the most to be, very good, and to, if I was betting this tournament, which I am not, I would say Sweden's going to make it through. So now let's go along that train, and let's say you got to beat one of Russia or Finland. Well, we've seen the Russians in tournaments that, World Championships and Olympics that really have a deep meaning in the Russian soul, as it were, hockey soul, and they can be absolutely, you see, a train wreck in those tournaments. The organization, when all those guys come together, has always been pretty goofy. And the Finns are that put-your-head-down, hard-working country that never gives you a break, right? That can, they're straight-ahead Fred. So I think that's the point. They got to upset somebody. And, do they have what it takes to score with the Russians or to grind with the Finns? I think that's kind of where we're going here. And you know what? I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I'm kind of interested to see how it plays out.
Who do you think plays with Connor McDavid? I know I'm asking you to be coach here. Who do you think plays with Connor McDavid?
That's an excellent question.
Like, I'm trying to throw some lines together in my mind, and because a lot of these guys haven't, I mean, they've only been in the league for 1 year, or some of them haven't been in the league at all. I'm trying to picture who I'd match up with Austin Matthews, or who would play alongside Connor McDavid.
Well, there's so many centermen here to start with that I'm a little, I want a natural left winger with them. How about Johnny Goodrow from Calgary?
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of centermen. Nathan McKinnon's here. Sean Monahan's here. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is here. I don't mind Brandon Saad, maybe on the other side. He's a centerman as well. Or, I don't know, he plays everywhere. He's played a lot of wing in Chicago, frankly. I don't mind Jonathan Drouin with him.
Right.
Here's a guy, he's a left winger as well, who came out of he had a real, he created his own problems last year by holding out. But I'm going to say this, there was a ton of pressure on Jonathan Drouin to dig himself out of that hole, and he did so in spades. So he's an exceptionally good player, and he can skate. So, who do you have? Like, I would take either of those two guys. I think Drouin can play some right side. I want a guy with Connor McDavid who can A, skate with them, and B, bury the puck that is inevitably going to find his stick in a real good scoring position.